YouTube? This is your boy Alex. I'm back with a brand new YouTube video. I decided why wait until Friday or Saturday to give you the video. This video is going to be for the women because I do have women who watch my YouTube videos. Some women like my videos. Some women think my videos are a little bit too extreme and over the top. It is what it is, and I told you fellas, you're going to have to let the women have their day to shine in today's video. Yes, we're still on the subject of music. I apologize that video broke into like 5 or 6 parts. That was unexpected. This is an old-ass camera cell phone. And when I start working back, when we're done with this accident, because I can't say the real name, because if you say the real name on YouTube, your YouTube channel will get demonetized and video taken down. And if you keep saying the real name, because there's still people talking about it and people still getting their videos taken off the internet, and we don't want this channel taken off the internet. It's not good. Trust me, it's definitely not good. The title of this YouTube video is going to be called Sex Game, the Top 13 All-Time Greatest Pop, Hip-Hop, R&B, Rap Stars of all times from the 1980s all the way till now. Now, I apologize that's a long title for a video. I know. I'll try my best in the future when I do videos to shorten the title of the video. You understand, there's only 13 people on this list that I can think of that is way up there. Each time I do a category of music, it's going to be reflecting that. The next time I do a YouTube video, it's going to be, another category. I done rock. This is for female artists, and we're going to finally get on the female artists. So let's get to it. Coming in at number 13 is Rihanna. Now, I had Rihanna on another video where it was a mixture of men and women, but this is women. Now, Rihanna is someone that came from Barbados, and when she first popped up onto the scene, nobody suspected this girl to get signed by Jay-Z's label and give us some kick-ass music. Now, she has been in the game for a decade and a half. Rihanna's popped out like 7 albums. She's been in movies, television shows. She's been in Pepsi commercials. And she's been killing it in the game. Now, we know her high-profile date with Chris Brown was been talked about. We know all about that. And she has just gotten better as time went on. Her career ballooned. Now, Rihanna, like I said in my last video, she's kind of like a callback to Aaliyah. A lot of the songs you saw Aaliyah did in the late 80s, early 90s, Rihanna started doing some of those songs. And a lot of people think Rihanna's cute and hot. I think she's cute and hot. Like, I'll listen to her more than I'll listen to Nicki Minaj. And you see, if I had to put Nicki Minaj on the list, then it would be a tie. And some people probably might have a problem with me tying the two on the list, because there are going to be some guys saying Nicki came in. But the thing with Nicki Minaj is, if I put her on the list and I tie her with Rihanna, the problem is she's like, everything you saw her do in her music, you've seen it before, because the person I'm about to name on this list had done it before Nicki Minaj did. And that would probably go on a special list called the greatest beefs of all times. That's supposed to be something for summertime. And I'm not sure on how would I bring that video. So I would rather not have Nicki Minaj on that list. I'd rather have her on another category. I'd rather bring her on the best hip-hop love songs or something like that if I was to make it into a video. I don't want to take nothing away from Rihanna being on the list. So when you put people tied on the list, it has to be a specific reason. There has to be a reason why you would do it. Rihanna kind of came in at a point where the music game was turned upside down on its head. It was like 2004, 2005. She came right in the middle of it. And a lot of people didn't think she was going to survive. To me, she's like a cross between a young version of Aaliyah and kind of like a female Drake, because they were accusing both of these artists of being bubblegum. They was calling her the bubblegum pop artist, and when they found out that Jay-Z was backing her, she did songs with Lil Wayne and Drake. She did songs with Kanye West, 50 Cent. She did songs with all these artists, And then she stepped up and started getting more creative and started doing songs outside the box. Songs you expect men to do, she was doing them. And that's what made her get on this list. She kind of has survived, from being you're just this bubblegum pop star to creating your own identity. She's lasted longer. She found ways not to get into fights and arguments with other people. Now, you could say every now and then she might make a reference to someone that she used to be with, but unlike Nicki Minaj always stays beefing with female artists. Rihanna tries to stay away from it. Now, in the beginning, you could argue that Rihanna did get into it with some people, but when she got into her prime of her career, she did her best to stay away from the trouble because she understood that can mess up your career. That's why we can't put Nicki Minaj on this list, because Nicki's career took too many hits. Now, Rihanna's career at one point did take a hit, and she bounced back. So that's why Rihanna gets to be on the list, and Nicki Minaj doesn't. And it has nothing to do with me not putting on the list. I listen to both women's music. I just think Rihanna has a better sound and a better voice. Nicki Minaj tries too hard to come off as a female version of Lil Wayne. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's something wrong when you take all these hits in your career and you can't bounce back. Rihanna always shows if she gets hit, she can bounce back and stay out of trouble. So that's why she's on this list. Some people might call this favoritism. Some people might call this bias. It probably is. It's probably not. Someone will have a problem with her being on the list because somebody usually gets upset. It's a part of life. It's to be expected. Coming in at number 12 is a legend, Queen Latifah. Now, this is a woman that's been in the game for quite a while. Now, before she had her own TV talk show, before she popped up in movies and television shows and wrote books, she was like the second or third African American woman to be heavyweight and break into the rap game and say, I want to rap with the fellas. And I remember people was making fun of this woman in New York City, and she said, no, I want to rap with LL Cool J. I want to be on the mic with DMX and them. And they thought she was just talking. And then mid-'80s, towards the late 80s, she popped up with a song called UNTY, and it was a big hit. She put out another album. Nobody thought that she would take it to that level. Like, the stuff that women were afraid to rap about, she was not. You call a woman a hoe, you call a woman the B word, she had a problem with it. Two things happened. She would see your ass in the parking lot, ready to whoop that ass, or she would get on the mic and rap about it. And why is it kept close? She actually did both. Any man went in the studios and disrespected a black woman, you had Queen Latifah to deal with. She got in your face. That was the end of that story. And she didn't just make one album. She made like 5 or 6 albums. And she did things in those songs that people were scared to rap about. She talked about the pay gap, because she did talk about it. She did talk about women should get more opportunities in the rap game. She kind of came in and opened the doors and said it's okay to be a big woman and to rap hard on the mic. Like, before you got Missy Eliott, before you got some of these other females that had came into the game, she came first. Like, think about it. If it weren't for Queen Latifah, you would not have no Missy Elliott. You would not have all these other female MCs that would come in here and have creative vision to rap. And a lot of people got to show this woman some mad respect, because this woman made her 6 to 7 albums. This woman went outside of rap, broke into television and film, and broke some barriers. They didn't want to hire women that were obese into movies and television shows. And that was the next thing she broke. And again said it was okay to be big in these movies and television shows. When they put her in some of these romance movies, like when she did a movie with LL Cool J, that shows you right there that when she first broke in the rap game, I want to do a song with LL Cool J, and she did. So people don't be thinking that she not gonna break no barriers. She did. She broke one in music, turned around and did it in television and film, and then just when you didn't think she could not, she breaks another one. She starts writing books. She turns around and starts getting a TV talk show, because she does have one. A lot of people don't remember it, but she had one. And either she has one or still has one. And every time you turn around, she's always reinventing herself. See, a lot of people don't give her no credit and no respect, but you got to understand, she actually put in some work. She stayed late nights. She made those sacrifices, and let's not forget about the tragic death of her brother. God rest his soul, rest in peace, because he drove a motorcycle. She drove a motorcycle, and she even made a song dedicated to him. So you can't sit here and say that I'm not showing no respect, because I am, because she was holding it down. She showed you, yeah, I'm from the Bronx. Yeah, I'm from New York. Yeah, I got that New York up in me, but what about it? And she even did collaborations with other female artists and showed that she could play well with others as well as being solo. So if you think about it, if it weren't for her, you probably would have not got a Missy Elliott, because when you look at Missy Elliott, and you look at Queen Latifah, they both were being stereotyped, okay? They were also being compared to each other, and both of them hate the comparisons. She came in a period where they didn't want women in music. You got to remember that. And Queen Latifah stuck to her guns and made that thing work. She even popped up on radio in the beginning of her career, and who was giving her those interviews? Yeah, a lot of y'all don't like Wendy Williams, but Wendy Williams kind of was there in the very beginning and was kind of like a huge fan supporter of this woman breaking these barriers. And like I said, she's still breaking barriers. And when people play her songs, they think about she was that female rapper that, why is it kept closed? If you think about it, same thing for Lil' Kim. That inspired Lil' Kim to rap. Because Queen Latifah said you could be a black woman, you could be hood, and still rap and get taken serious and get your message across. So that's why she's on this list. She's a legend, whether you people like it or not. She's a legend. All right, coming in on the next list, on my list, is going to be Missy Elliott. Now, Missy Elliott, I like her music. I mean, when she put out her first song, it was good. And then right in the middle of the 1990s, she caught fire. Because at that point in time, you had Aaliyah, you had Missy Elliott, you had Wendy Houston, you had Mariah Carey, and you just had a big roster just full of female artists. Janet Jackson was on that list, Madonna was on there, and all of these women were in their prime. She became the next female. Same thing. She's big, she's overweight, she's from New York City, she got that New York up in her, and people were still doing the stereotypes. And again, she proved to the critics that I could come in here and sell out shows, and she did. When she did that song with Eve and Nas, that showed right there that she really could compete. Like, she wasn't afraid to actually rap and give it all she got. Then she, a decade later, in her 30s, what does she does? She team up with Sierra, and again, she shows she can pull it off. All of a sudden, she's doing songs with Ludacris and Trina. I don't want no Minute Man. Show me what you got. I don't want no 1 minute man. And you see, she showed that she could rap, she could rhyme, she could tell a story. It's just her doing all of this. And then to go behind the scenes and choreograph your own music videos. At the time, only male artists was doing it. She did it. And when people be wondering how come she could break dance and do what she was doing, it's because she was determined to prove to the industry she can do it all. When they asked her where her inspiration came from, she said one of her biggest idols is Michael Jackson. And she could do a song with Prince or Michael Jackson, that would make her the happiest person in the world. We all know she never got that opportunity, but you could just imagine what would happen if she got it. And you see, Michael Jackson did a duet with Britney Spears, and Christina Aguilera and all the girls that liked him. It could have happened with Missy Elliott. I think Missy Elliott would have been grateful to get that honor. Like, people said she was like the female version of Notorious B.I.G. She didn't like the criticism. She accepted it. And she could see why they were trying to say she's like a female version of Biggie. In a way she was, but then again, she was her own individual. She had her own style. She was not afraid to express herself, even if it weren't the type of music you were used to. Like, she would talk about some issues that you didn't know that was going on in the hood and put them on album. And she didn't care if you were mad because you didn't get the type of rap that you were used to getting. She gave you the rap that she felt you deserved. So you gotta like her for that. I mean, she did something right because she's lasted 2.5 decades. And I'm pretty sure that when she made her comeback, people still knew who she was. All right, next person on the list coming in at number 10, Missy Elliott was number 11. Coming in at number 10 is Little Kim. Now, Little Kim's like 5'5". I mean, take that back. I think she's between 4'9" to like 4'11". Real short, right? And she also had her challenges. Now, she was with the legend, Notorious B.I.G. Do you know how hard it is to have a guy elevate your career? Biggie took Little Kim everywhere. Everywhere she went, she was elevated. Little Kim wanted the movies and the television shows. Biggie and P. Diddy was hooking that up. And when she called herself the queen of hip-hop, the name stuck. Got the name Little Kim. She's short, she talkative, she talks shit, she back talk, and it seemed to work for her gimmick. Yeah, there's been females who tried to rip her off, copycat her, we all know. And this will also explain why Nicki Minaj is not on the list. Because when Nicki tries to get respect and credit, you gotta remember, Little Kim came 2 decades. Little Kim was the one who went on stage and did stuff that you didn't see female artists do. Like, she would, like, if you look at that I think 1998, 1999 Music Sound Awards or Vibe Awards or whatever, where you see Little Kim and then you see Diana Ross come out and grope her breasts. Nobody did no shit like that. Little Kim was doing some shit that make you go, that's inappropriate. And guess what? I was in junior high and high school, and we had some girls trying to copy Little Kim, and they got suspended and sent home for doing it. So when you think about it, when you see Lady Gaga do something, just remember, Little Kim kind of opened the door for artists to say it's okay to do some shit that's kind of out of this world and a bit insane. Because Little Kim was taking it to levels that only a male artist would do. And in that era, you had an artist by the name of D'Angelo who actually made a whole entire song. But he was all swole and buffed up. And I'm just going to leave it at that because women like the video. Men hate the video. Women love that video of D'Angelo. And the reason why I'm trying to keep it PG is because we don't want this video to get taken down because, yeah, you got to be careful because YouTube be watching and the algorithm, and as soon as you say some stuff that's too inappropriate, it's bye-bye, see you later. So just use your imagination, okay? D'Angelo got criticized because they said in the media, was that a rap song or was that like on the verge of porn? So that's why I say use your imagination. Then Marcus Houston did it. You know, he's another artist. I ain't put him on the list. Don't pick on me. We'll do another category called the best love song. So just calm down. But Little Kim opened the door. If it weren't for Little Kim, you wouldn't have no Nicki Minaj, no Rihanna, no Carly B. See, all these women are good, but Little Kim came first. And when Little Kim had her little beef with Nicki, the reason why we accept her doing doing beef rapping was because Biggie got her prepared, and when she had her beef with Foxy Brown was imitating Little Kim. So Little Kim can tell if someone's copying her. So you can see why I say that. Like when she made I'm from Besta, she was showing you she can rap. She was showing you that she has a flavor. And she managed to do songs with Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, even did a song with Lady Gaga, which a lot of people were shocked. Lil' Kim was doing songs with people that you would not expect. So that's why she's on this list. Alright, now we get to number 9, and that's Adrienne Howard. Now, Adrienne Howard was a woman in the hip-hop game who branched over. You know, she went from pop music to R&B to hip-hop to rap. All the genres, she did them all. And she came with this one song that at the time was so controversial, because you got to remember, at that time in the late 80s, mid 90s, they did not want women rapping about sex. You could talk about love, but you couldn't rap about sex. You couldn't describe sex or talk about what a man should do to a woman. And she got the idea in her head to say, fuck that, I'm going to do it anyway. And she did it with a song called A Freak in the Morning, A Freak in the Evening. Song blew up. And the executive producer was a black woman who was jealous and envious that here's this woman who come in here with a short buzz cut, looking like Halle Berry, and makes this unforgettable song. And to this very day, women keep nodding their head to this song. Like, you got black women that just sing that song, and then they bring in the rapper towards the middle, the end. 1, 2, 3, 2 to the, do you want to get freaky with me? And when she said, I got the dog in me, you're like, oh shit. Like, we expect that rapper, I like big butts in the can, to say that. You know, we ain't expecting no female to just go on the mic. And when she did the positions, the sex positions, she was doing the positions, rapping and singing the shit at the same damn time. We never had no female artist sing and rap at the same time and then do it in the video. It got so controversial that after she put out like 3 albums in 7 years, she had a sequel to that song. She had to do a remix to the album and that song. And the executive producer sabotaged her career because she never liked her going on the album and basically doing what she did. That's only part of it. The other half of it, to this day, is still controversial because she was jealous and the executive producer was mad because her boyfriend happened to date her talent, which is a big no-no in the music industry. So that's why she did that. So we don't know the whole story, but in 7 years, she had dropped like 3 albums and was working on album number 4. So she went to an independent company and still could not get that album released. And that sabotaged her career. Even when she got in her late 30s, early 40s, people are still curious to want to hear that song. It ain't eventually got released on digital download, and it was edited, words were switched around, and she realized that she had to sue her former boss because she was tampering with her work. So that's why I say to this day, still ain't never heard the remix or the sequel to that album. But at that time, she did break a barrier, because if it weren't for her, women like Lil' Kim, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, all these artists that came after, they would not be talking about no sex. Think about it. She was kind of like, if not the first, the second or the third one, because they had one before, but that was Diana Ross. And Diana Ross kind of was being PG, and at the time she wanted to try it, but they told Diana Ross no. But when it came to her, she said, fuck it, if the men can rap that shit, I'm gonna rap that shit. That's the type of artist she was. So you look her up, you listen to her music, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is way before our time. Like, I was a kid when she did that. And as I got older, her song got into the movies, the television shows. That's why she was suing, because every time they did a romance movie with African American actors in the late 90s, early 2000s, her songs was getting into these movies and television shows, but she wasn't getting paid for the money. So she sued like 4 or 5 times. So you can see how cold and dirty the music game can be at times. This is why it pays to have a manager. She had one, but her executive producer, sabotaged her. But it still shows in that moment she was great. Coming in at number 8 is Lady Gaga. You cannot have a list without Lady Gaga. Now, she's from New York, surprise, surprise. The woman can sing. Like, this woman has talent. Like, she wrote a lot of her own music. Most of the time, they never had female artists writing their own music, but she did. And then, of course, I like Bad Romance. It's one of my all-time favorites. And when she took the idea of giving herself a character, she did it because Mariah Carey and Beyonce had characters, so she gave herself a character. And she was so unique, nobody expected her to do the over-the-top things. Like when other artists do them, they're not accepted. When Lady Gaga does it, it's accepted. And when they compare her to Madonna, she doesn't have a problem with it because everyone has already agreed that she kind of like is the second coming of Madonna. Like everything Madonna does, she does. But what she do that Madonna don't do is she kind of takes it to a level that not even Madonna would even go there. That's the difference. Like Madonna will do something that's crazy every now and then to shock the audience. Lady Gaga will go as far as to put blood on herself. It's not real blood, but you know what I mean. Fly in the air, talking about I want to do my next album in outer space. That's what I mean by taking it that far. And the fly in the air in the Super Bowl was so successful that it does kind of make you wonder that if she did do that, that could propel her to get into the number 1, number 2 spot. She did the piano. She showed she can get down on the piano. So she has multiple talents. And then, of course, she is beloved by the LGBT community. So please don't come at me when you see me in public. Don't be messing with me. I got Lady Gaga on the list, so just relax. As time goes on, she'll get higher on the list. Some people like where she's at. Some don't. Just be happy I got her on the list. It wasn't easy making this list. This list was complicated. It took me like 5 tries. 5. Alright, coming next on our list is going to be at number 7, Britney Spears. Britney Spears is like if you took some Janet Jackson and you took the DNA of other female artists and you just infused them together, you got Britney Spears. When she first popped out at the scene, you couldn't wait to see what she was going to do. I mean, when she did Toxic, and let's not forget when they had that snake on her. Most women would be scared to have a snake. She wasn't afraid. And the fact that she could just sing with the snake on and grace you with her presence was incredible. Now, she did have some hang-ups. She did have some personal issues behind the scenes. All artists do. No one's perfect. And she did bounce back. Like, she's the girl that can make not one comeback. She can make 7 comebacks. And the fact that she's still irrelevant shows great significance to her bouncing back. Like, most female artists, when they hit 30, 31, 32, 33, they're done. Britney Spears just seems to always kick ass and take names. So that's why she's on this list. Then to have a phone call from the late, great Michael Jackson and then pair it with another artist that's like the stuff of legends, and then to turn around and hook up with Madonna, then to be the one to pass the torch to Lady Gaga. Do you know how hard it is to do all of that and still keep going? Alright, coming at number 6 is Madonna. You can't never have a list completed without a legend like this. Woman been in the game for 3.5 decades, soon to be 4 decades. The woman is in her 60s. The woman did like her first rap duet with Drake. I mean, come on. I mean, she went from doing she was first doing her first song in her native country, comes to America, takes the world by storm, and then she's just doing things like there's Who's That Girl? I know y'all probably don't remember that, but she showed she could sing when she did that. Who's that girl? And Madonna has been around. There's nothing you can't name off that she has not done. She's performed at basketball events, football games, baseball games, concerts. She's mixed her sound with pop, R&B, rap. She's even gotten down on the piano. There's nothing that you can't name off that Madonna ain't done. She's gotten to the movies, television shows. She wrote books. I mean, and the fact that she's 60 and she still got them vocals. By the time you get to that age, you're like done. But if your name's Madonna, you ain't never done. It's like you can't never tell when she gonna pop out with a hit. You just ain't gonna know until she let you know. It's like she ain't from this planet, man. People when they get 40, 50, 60, they retire. They ain't got they vocals is hurt. She looked like that. She probably could push it into 65 and pop out another album and it'll turn into a hit. Like, I have a feeling that the next time they do a big budget movie or another concert, expect her to be at the concert rapping her butt off. Like, when she hooked up with Drake and did a duet, it was kind of like a shock to everyone that she went like, yeah, I still got it. Y'all thought I don't have it, I still got it. That's why she's on the list. Like I said, she could be higher. Try not to be upset with me. Alright, coming in number 5 is Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, Jenny from the Bronx, Jenny from the Block. She went from Living Color to Jennifer Lopez. She has plenty of hits. I mean, you can't complete this list without a Mamacita. You can't. I don't want no one chasing me down the street for 15 blocks. You forgot J-Lo. Get his ass. Please don't punk on me. Please don't. This list was hard to make. If I had it my way, I would have all the Mamacitas sit down and help me with this list. This is not an easy list. Why is J-Lo at number 5? Because the girl has been in the game for 2.5 decades, and they have never had nobody do television, film, music, turn around, take care of kids, turn around, pop up on American Idol, and do all of that in one day. Most people would just drop to the floor and go into body convulsions. J-Lo is rocking and rolling. I mean, she did Love Don't, let's see, she did her version of Love Don't Cost a Thing. She did, 2 songs with LL Cool J's Hard to Control Myself. You got what it to take to be bad. It's hard to control myself. And when she come on and say LL Cool J, and he starts getting to his set, 2 songs with LL Cool J. Let's not forget her ex-boyfriend, her ex-husband, Mark Anthony. She actually did a whole album with